You know that perfect, almost unscratchable finish on your new kitchen appliances or your car's dashboard? Well, it's not just paint. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden science behind it all, the world of in-mold surface finishing.
Yeah, just think about it for a second. That glossy sheen on your coffee machine, or the soft touch texture on your gaming controller. It's not just something slapped on at the end of the production line. No way. It's an incredibly precise process that makes the finish a permanent part of the product itself.
And that's the key right there, bonding it permanently. This isn't a layer that just sits on top of the plastic or metal. It becomes part of its surface, right down to the molecular level as it's being made. And that's exactly what makes it so incredibly tough. So how do they actually pull this off? Well, it's like a carefully choreographed four-step dance of chemistry and engineering. We're going to start with step 1, prepping the surface. This is the foundation, and without a perfect foundation, the whole thing just falls apart. So here are the 4 big stages we're going to walk through. We're kicking things off with surface preparation. It's kind of like priming a wall before you paint, It's all about creating that perfect base for everything that comes next. And listen, this is not just a simple wipe down with a cloth. We are talking about some serious high-tech science here. Things like plasma treatments actually change the surface chemistry to give it a better grip. Laser texturing physically roughens the surface on a microscopic scale, and chemical etching, that creates these nanoscale pores for the coating to literally lock itself into. It's all about creating the perfect anchor.
Okay, so once that surface is prepped to perfection, it's time for the main event, applying the coating itself. And the method they use here is chosen very, very carefully, depending on what the final product is supposed to do and what it looks like. All right, we are now at step 2, coating application. This is where that magic liquid, the stuff that will become the final durable surface, is finally introduced into the mold. You've basically got 2 major approaches here. For those really complex, curvy shapes, spray coating is fantastic. The big challenge, though, is getting a perfectly even layer every single time. Then, for high-performance needs, you've got plating. This process can embed some incredible materials. We're talking graphene nickel composites for insane durability or others to reduce friction. So the big takeaway here is it's not just about color, it's about adding function.
So the coating is on, but right now is just, a wet layer of goo. Step 3 is where we turn that liquid into a rock-solid permanent part of the product. This is the curing stage. If prep was priming the wall and application was painting it, curing is like baking the glaze onto a piece of pottery. It's what makes it permanent and strong. And that brings us right along to step 3, curing and drying. This is the all-important chemical reaction that locks everything in place and gives the surface its final, tough properties. The 2 main ways to do this are with heat or with UV light. Heat curing is a slow, super precise process that carefully controls how the coating's internal structure forms. But UV curing, that's the speed demon of the 2. It uses these special molecules called photoinitiators. When you hit them with UV light, they kick off a chain reaction that hardens the entire coating in just minutes. It's incredibly fast, energy efficient, and can even add cool properties, like making a surface so water repellent that water just beads up and rolls right off. Okay, we've prepped, we've coated, we've cured. We should have a perfect product, right? Well, almost. All of that amazing work is for nothing if we don't verify the result. And that brings us to our final and absolutely critical step, quality control. And here we are at the final stage of the whole process, quality control. In a lot of ways, this last step is the most important one because it makes sure all the previous work was actually done perfectly. Because, let's be real, despite all this incredible precision, things can still go wrong. A single tiny speck of dust, a slight change in temperature, or one microscopic bubble can totally ruin the entire finish. These are the enemies of a perfect finish, defects like bubbling, cratering, or these weird things called fisheyes. And a lot of research shows these are often caused by teeny tiny air bubbles that get trapped during the spraying process and just can't escape before the coating hardens. So the solution isn't just to check the product at the very end and hope for the best. Quality control is a continuous process. It involves monitoring things during manufacturing and then doing some really rigorous testing after the fact. And they have a whole arsenal of tools to do this. I mean, pull-off tests literally try to rip the coating off just to measure how strong its bond is. Contact angle measurements check for uniformity by seeing how a single drop of water behaves on the surface. They even use powerful SEM imaging and advanced computer models to predict and prevent defects before they even have a chance to form. So, In the end, that's what this all is. A four-step dance of chemistry and precision. From microscopic surface texturing to high-performance coatings, light-speed curing, and predictive quality control, every single stage is absolutely critical to creating that perfect, built-in finish.
So, the next time you pick up your phone or run your hand over the console in your car, take a closer look at that finish, because now you know the incredible science and engineering that's literally bonded right into its surface. So, what are you going to see differently now?